a hot dog from 7-Eleven and now you got a gut attack. Trump got attacked. Crazy,
Bro,
dude.
Crazy.
So I was driving. This is coming out a week too late. But anyways, I was driving to a comedy show and I was on the 35 and everybody came to a complete standstill. And I was like, what the I thought there was like an accident or something. And then my phone got an Apple notification that was like President Trump or former President Trump shot in Pennsylvania. And I went, what the fuck?
And you look up and everybody's outside of their car. Like,
yeah.
At the flag at the Nissan dealership
I went
on the highway.
Well, I pulled over too. Everybody pulled over because they were all reading their phones.
That's crazy.
I was like,
I don't
I've
even
never
remember
seen that.
getting an alert. I found out from No Jumper. That's how I find out everything. It'll just be like, bad baby reportedly made $52 million since her OnlyFans. Also, former President Donald Trump just got shot in the fucking head. I'm like, this is crazy. And then some rapper I don't know dies. That's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, what an eventful. I mean, holy.
It really is crazy.
It was one of those few moments where I was driving and I went, oh, this is like not good.
It's like scary.
Yeah, it's like I was like, oh, my dad called me and was like, don't go downtown. My dad was convinced there was gonna be riots. He was like, don't go downtown. A big city's going to catch on fire tonight. And I don't know. I don't want it to be.
I didn't have any extreme views about it. I realized like there's a lot of things. It could be like just a lone person who hates Trump that did it. It could be the Democrats. It could even be the Republican Party. It could be the CIA, which I mean, it could be the Russians. There's all sorts of conspiracies.
You know what nobody's thinking about? It could be the Guatemalans.
It could have been the Guats, but where was he?
Pennsylvania.
Nah, and that's
they can trickle up.
They can trickle up. They can trickle up. They get sifted through. But I didn't have any like hard stances on it, and obviously I knew it was a big deal, but I just wasn't really thinking about it too much. And then on the way over here, I listened to 35 minutes of Tim Dillon and Alex Jones talk about it, and now I have some ideas.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
I've been unfollowing people on social media because of it.
And
both sides.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I can't deal with either. It's people who are now like, you see what the fucking left is trying to do, are really annoying.
Yeah.
And then people on the left being like, how do we know it's not staged? It's like, what idiot would stage that?
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I unfollowed a guy today because he made a huge thing being like, you tell me if this is a coincidence, and then listed a bunch of things that were clearly a coincidence. You know what I mean?
Classic.
You tell me if it's a coincidence that he moved his head at the. So it's like, do you think that he fucking? You think that he timed his head movement with a sniper?
There's zero chance.
That's crazy.
And then, dude, there was a while on Instagram. So at first, it was everybody reporting it. And then it was everybody that we know. I mean, my algorithm is mostly other comics.
Yeah.
So everybody just trying to make a funny thing about it.
Think about the quickest joke.
As if anybody had an original take.
No.
And then for like an hour, it was just like, why is this photo hidden? Oh, this is a guy's head blown off. And it was like the shooter dead.
Domed.
I was like, who took this?
Yeah.
Who took this and uploaded it on the internet?
Who took this fucking photo?
Yeah. Okay. It's a joke I don't do anymore.
But no, dude, it was yeah. And then there was even like, did you see the still that leaked right away of the kid who shot him? There was like the kid like from like a CCTV camera, and it just showed like his underbite and his slicked back greasy hair, and it looked like he was from like The Hills Have Eyes.
He does. I've seen pictures
of
him since, and he is ugly. I will say this, and you don't see whether we're talking about mass shootings or assassinations, they're never hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't. They're never even reasonably looking.
Yeah, they're always sort of unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's always kind of like
the world is weighed down on them in a really bad way. God didn't give them the best hand, and that's how things
or the
pile
aim
up. Yeah. God gave them quite a shaky hand.
Quite a shaky hand. The one thing that you were gonna do to make you stand apart from everybody in the rest of the world, you failed at.
Yeah,
you're a failure.
You missed. It was like a 450-foot shot. It wasn't
easy shot.
It really wasn't that hard. I shot guns recently in Oklahoma. Not trying to brag, but it's not
150 meters is so easy.
It's not. I won't say it's not that difficult, but if you're laying down on top of a trailer, you're scoped and you're set,
prone,
you're prone,
Yeah.
and the gun is stagnant, it's not that
It's
difficult.
literally basic shooting mechanics. Also, don't shoot him in, like, whatever. That's a whole
Don't shoot him in the
Yeah,
head.
that's the worst.
Yeah.
There's a tee box.
Yeah.
You go
yeah, I've learned that from living with you.
But there's don't ever
Anyways, crazy times.
So that guy's a fucking
in.
that guy that was nuts. And I was and then I've been unfollowing people on both sides. Very, very bad. I think we're gonna go to war with each other.
Dude, I mean, I was listening to Alex Jones on the way over here, so I have like some ideas which are crazy. He was just saying crazy shit like he does.
Yeah.
And it was just like if this is the left trying to kill him, which he didn't say if it is, he said it is. But if it is, that they're just like, it's not going to stop now. Like the next thing will be like a truck bomb. And if like shit like that can't work, they will do things that will like incite like tension. Like they'll have somebody who like blow up like a black church and then try to claim it was a Trump supporter.
Yeah, start planting martyrs for the like on the left.
Exactly.
Well, the same. Well, now it's
basically House of Cards.
It's actually. I was just gonna say. Well, now it's gonna be bad too because now people might try to take it out on another. Like like the right might also take pop shots at every other. It's gonna be bad. I'm also stupid, so I should.
Well,
I'm not qualified to talk about any of this.
Yeah, I don't know what will or could.
I'm not having an original thought and I'm not articulating it either. I'm like, it could also be bad because the other guys might do the same thing, but to the other guy.
It is funny to be like at the level. Like I think we are both smart people. This is just like definitely not our like forte. So we will just reiterate things that we've already heard in a like less intelligent way. We're like, well, I heard a smart person say something close to this. It's just wrong.
That's basically how I went from that. And then I went down to a YouTube rabbit hole of watching cop interactions. And have you seen the video of the cop that was in what country or what state was it? He was doing a routine stop on a guy who had expired plates, and the guy basically didn't have his driver's license, gave him a fake driver's license that he had a photo of. He handed it his phone. He ran it. There was nothing. Plates weren't registered. There was a child in the car, 6-year-old kid in the car. And the cop went to like take the guy out of the driver's seat. He's like, why don't you just come with? And the cop had his like, the cop like grabbed the top of the door when it was open. So he put his hand like here to rest, and then like reached in to like try to grab the guy with the other hand, and the guy sped off. And so the cop like looped his arm underneath the window. They were going like 70 miles an hour. There's a kid in the passenger seat, and the cop pulls his gun out and boom, 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 smokes the driver, falls out of the car, pulls the driver out of the car. Driver dies instantly. Well, he doesn't die instantly. He dies, and the car like comes to a halt into a fence, and the kid's still in the car. So the cop, this cop shoots a dude while going like 60, slows down, falls on the pavement, then immediately sprints to make sure the kid's okay.
Dude.
I was like fired up.
That makes me love the blue.
I was like, dude, that made me, because he was like, well, here's the craziest thing too. In the video, the kid's like 6 and going through experiencing trauma for the first time. But it's sad too, because he goes, my phone's in the car. He just wants his phone in the car. He doesn't comprehend what just happened.
He's like an iPad kid.
Yeah, he's an iPad kid being like, my phone.
My games.
Yeah, he's like,
my games.
He literally said,
wow.
Yeah, it was a wild video.
That might be one of the craziest.
You should watch it. It's like a 30, you can probably watch the 30-second fucking.
Dude, also just like, for the amount of, because I also will get in a loophole of watching like cop interactions, and a lot of it is just like this guy owned the cops, and it's just like a Mexican guy getting stopped at the border and like arguing with the police or like the border control, and then they're like, our dog hit on it, and he's like, I don't give you consent. And he's like, well, the dog hit. Do you ever smoke in the car? He's like, yeah, I smoke. And it's just like, oh, this is just like they're doing their job properly.
Yeah, they're just trying to be guys.
They're like, our dog alerted, and do you ever smoke in here? He's like, yeah, but you don't have any right to do this. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
You just admitted to it.
But then every once in a while it'll be a video. But you watch, sometimes you watch cops just be idiots.
Oh yeah,
or you watch a guy like
every other.
Sometimes.
Video.
This is going to be fucked up. Sometimes the screams that cops let out in those moments are really embarrassing.
Well, was just an adrenaline rush. Yeah.
No, and I can't imagine I would be any better, but it'll just be the most like, dude,
the cop,
like, it's crazy. But that's like a fucking scene from a movie.
The
cop
be
hanging on and
reach in with the other hand.
I might try to find.
Yeah, try it. You can definitely pull it up. The cop literally goes, "You're gonna kill me, bro. You're gonna kill me," which is like a very adrenaline based.
I mean, if I look up cop shoots, it just says dog. Why would I want to watch that?
Who's searching cop shoots?
What cop shoots because of an acorn falling?
Oh, that one's crazy.
That one's really.
Have you
funny.
seen that one?
No, I feel like I have to watch that one. No way.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, this one looks sad. There's a press briefing of a whole black family at a podium. I don't know if I want to watch that.
What about the type in
cop shooting.
Suspect drives off.
Dragged by car.
Yeah.
That should pull it up.
It should be like a 10-minute video. Maybe.
Shoot and kill a man while he's being dragged.
Let me see that.
This is a 19-minute video.
It's that one. And then click through towards the end.
I can find it. There's no reason for this to be 19 minutes. Nobody wants to watch the full interaction. Minutes. Well, yeah.
I did when I was on at Loophole.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, that's a little different.
I added context, but I wanted the context for him. But yeah, dude, I can't imagine. Then the next video I watched after that was a cop punching a guy at a stop sign. There's a video of this cop punching a dude stopped at a stoplight, and he's off of work. Oh, are you watching it right now?
Yeah. Damn, this dude's flying. Kids screaming. That's awful. No.
Crazy, right?
Wow.
Crazy, right?
And then he immediately runs. Damn, dude.
And
then the guy yells stop while he's being shot. It's like...
It's attempted murder. So if somebody's holding onto your car, it's attempted murder if you drive away.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't do that, especially if it's a police officer trying to pull you over.
Well, that's a common thing. Cops getting dragged out of cars like that is crazy.
Well, because they will. I mean, I've seen a lot of videos where they grab on, when a person's being like that, they grab onto the car.
Yeah.
Most of the people don't drive off when that happens, but yo, that's crazy.
Well, it's weird because if you don't instinctually go like that right away, like if your flight or flight is to like lock up, like
it takes what, like 2 seconds,
it takes
and
2
then
seconds
you're going too
30,
fast. Yeah. So
dude,
that was nuts. Dude, I remember there was a time in my life where like me and my boys, I was like 18 in my first apartment. We'd just like smoke weed and watch videos of like cops shooting people they weren't supposed to shoot and just get angry.
Yeah.
What a bad time in my life.
Yeah, that's a phase I think a lot of people go through.
And then you just start hating them, the cops.
I went through a lot of I've been going through a lot of those videos. Like a lot of cop interaction. There was a while where I watched a ton of videos on body language and like interrogations.
Wow.
And so like,
you know, those like master classes, they where it'll be like Steve Martin teaches stand up, like Gordon Ramsay teaches cooking. There was one where it was like FBI agent teaches interrogation techniques. And I'm like, who's buying this one?
Yeah, not the right
psycho
people.
Is buying. Yeah, it's not
some guy gaslighting his wife for 20
right,
years.
Yeah, exactly. Because nobody who needs that training is going to get it by master class.
No, they're getting
it's only somebody who's trying to be really good at selling Nissans.
Yeah,
like that's like all it is. Yeah,
he's interrogating. He's just trying to trick you into buying a pre-owned Nissan.
Yeah,
from CarMax. He's upcharging $2,500.
He's just like reading their body language and just like the inner monologue. It's like I could tell by the way he crossed his legs that he was excited but nervous.
Yeah.
This is when I present the $500 cash rebate on the Nissan Altima.
Yeah. I was saving this moment I was saving this for my back pocket.
So crazy.
Well, CarMax, you used to work at CarMax.
Yeah, I worked at CarMax.
I sold a car to CarMax, and they gave me $1,000 for a car that I bought for $7,000.
Yeah,
that I also had
right.
I had an offer to buy from Facebook 2 weeks after I posted it. Some guy was like, "I'll buy it for $4,500."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, this is crazy that I rushed a decision."
Yeah,
and then lost.
Well, that's what CarMax is like. There, that's what I mean. That's just a lot of things in general. Is like they're just like really banking on you. They'll give you that money then.
Yeah,
like a part of our technique, because I think they moved away from this now. But my part of me, like what I did is like when it was my turn in the queue to meet the person who walked through the door. If they wanted to sell their car, I got like $50 if they sold their car. That was like a part of the the commission, or maybe it was $100 or something like that. So we were taught to like push the fact that you could do this. You could get $500 extra on your car. You're going to have to post it on Facebook. You're going to have to meet weird people. You're going to have to hope they have the cash, or you're going to have to hope that they're not trying to finagle you. You don't have to meet strangers. You'll get this amount today.
Yeah, you don't have to go and switch the registry with the person at the county.
Yes. Dude, we had a company. There was a company right across the street that like a guy would just sit out there and hold the sign, and it was like, we will give you more for your car. So like people, dude, it was crazy. So people would take our offers to them and go, this is what they want. And they'd go, we'll beat it by $500 and buy their car.
Crazy.
I had people who needed that money for their down payment, and they would go across they would get our quote, go across the street, get the money from them, and then come back
and buy a car
and buy the car with that money, which then I lose an extra $100 on the commission.
Fuck,
God, I hated that job. That job
that's so cutthroat,
so bad.
That reminds me very much of when we were in Japan. When we were stationed in Japan, there was protesters outside of the camp that I was at, Camp Schwab. They would just hold up signs. The Japanese government pays them to be there, and the Chinese government pays them to be there. And there's just like 60 protesters that all have signs that say "Go home, Marine," which is very funny because they don't even have like proper grammar.
Go home, Marine.
Go Marine. Go
home.
Well, they'll try to. Yeah, it's bad. They called my friend the N-word and stuff.
Oh, dude, there's a video that comes on my algorithm probably once a month of black guys leaving a bus. It looks like I don't recognize any of the guys, but it looks like a professional like athlete, like of some sort. Like it's just that kind of bus, and they're just huge black guys. And it's like just a bunch of, I want to say they're Chinese, just yelling like, go home. Inward just over and over again.
Yeah, dude.
Get out of China. Like,
yeah, dude.
It's
other
crazy,
countries
bro.
are fucking wild.
Yeah.
Not that we're not, but like other countries are brutal.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to fuck them up every Olympics. That's why we have to go, yeah, you want to send up yeah, the South Korea team is entering the Olympic basketball, bro. Yeah, let's fuck around.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, well, here's Antonio Edwards.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
Antonio Edwards.
And I confused Antonio Brown and Anthony Edwards.
That would be a very deadly combination.
Yeah, that would be it.
Antonio Brown's a nut.
Dude, they should combine Antonio Brown's CTE
with
Anthony Edwards' athleticism.
He would just like dunk on somebody and then like pull his dick out.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
I mean, just pull it out at a pool.
Yeah.
Huge hog, by the way.
Yeah, massive. I'm sure. I mean,
I saw the video on Twitter.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
Anytime. And I think it's so funny. I think most dudes will do this. Something about a guy being famous and his dick being on the internet makes it not gay for us all to be like, I know exactly what Drake's dick looks like.
Yeah.
Like we watch it and it's like if I walked in and you were watching a video of a stranger pulling his dick out the way Drake did, I'd be like,
what are you doing?
I'd be like, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay. But like, I caught you doing something.
Yeah.
But if I walked in and you were watching Drake do that, I'd be like, is this the Drake video?
Is this the video? Yeah,
dude. Isn't his hog huge?
Isn't that
it's
massive?
crazy.
You see how he wags like a tail back?
Anytime somebody's dick is on the internet, I'm gonna look at it for sure.
Yeah. Do you remember Jackass? Did you watch Jackass ever? Or Viva La Bam? Do you remember when Bam like breaks his leg? And then there's his hip or something, and then they have the MRI, and you can just see his
whole dick, and they just put that on MTV.
So funny.
Jackass really was the Wild West of like TV.
Yeah, it definitely sparked it was the pioneer for like so many shows that you get now.
I wonder how many kids have died trying to be that.
Yeah.
You ever think about that?
Oh yeah, trying to imitate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to do it. We used to do nutball because of it. When you like spread your legs and throw stuff.
Yeah.
But they were like launching they were using like a tennis ball shooter. Like the things that like Serena Williams practices with that like launch them at 90 miles an hour.
Okay, speaking of this, did you hear this thing that Steve-O is going to get tits?
What?
He's going to get like double D tits. I want to make sure because I've heard this through the grapevine, but Steve-O.
What is it like a
tits? I'm just gonna look that.
Is
up.
that like a thing?
Jackass star Steve-O shares he's getting C-cup breast implants
as like a bit.
Yeah.
What's the bit?
That's the bit.
I got a nice set now.
He's losing it for me, man. I want to support Steve-O because obviously I came up on Jackass just like as most people my age did, and he got his life clean.
Mm-hmm.
He's a gnarly drug addict, turned it around. He was a gnarly sex addict, turned it around. He's in a great loving relationship. He's still doing all the crazy shit without the drugs and alcohol, which I get. You don't have to do this, man.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You don't have to get.
You don't have to get tits.
Why? I came up with the idea a few years ago to get a boob job and just film a bunch of legitimately funny hidden camera pranks with me in disguise.
Hey, you can just do that without. Like, there's prosthetics you could probably put in. You don't have to get a tit job.
He said he spoke with doctors, and I said to them candidly, the one thing I'm really freaked out about and bummed out about, and would back out of this over, is if I'm just going to be a mess afterwards. I'm just kind of looking at it like a numbers game. What numbers? What does that mean?
What numbers? One tit, two tits is the numbers.
I've always been a body modification guy. My tattoos, my butt piercings, it's been a part of my deal. It's just in my lane. No, dude. Well, he said he knows it's nuts, but he believes in it. This is crazy.
Well, you know what this reminds me of is that comic that we know who got a face tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Sucks. That's such a... It's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge...
Did he get it like recently?
Yeah. Like a new one. Like, but it's just like...
Yeah, you can't describe it. I saw a story of...
Yeah, it's just like...
Of something recently, but...
Well, it's just like, why would you do it?
Yeah.
Especially given this I get it if you're like, I don't care. But it's like, dude, like... Why?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't get. I guess
you want to be the guy with
if
the
you want
face
to do it with,
tattoo.
yeah, if you want to do it with, do whatever you're gonna do with your body. I don't care. Whatever, dude. As long as
your body, your choice.
Yeah, as long as you don't fucking.
As long as you're not aborting my child.
Yeah, as long as you're
actually,
not.
that's where I support it the most. Is when it's my child.
Yeah, I mean, I've been away, dude. Ariel's been gone too. She's in Greece. Been ladyless for 2 weeks.
You're just jerking off and eating rice and chicken.
I'm just like sad. I'm just eating. Yeah, I'm just eating rice and chicken and beef and chicken. And
I'm glad you haven't gone back to drinking though.
Yeah, well, that was at a different time too, because that was when I was like brand new to Austin. I was getting booked like twice a week, and I was like, I fucked up.
I will say this though, that was fun, dude.
Yeah,
that was fun. Josh getting fucked up.
You just come home, I would just be watching football hammered.
Yeah, just like drinking vodka, playing fucking Madden with Jack, dude.
Yeah, that was a fun time. It was.
You gotta have periods like that.
I was
until
coping.
they get sad, and then you go, all right, and then it's all okay.
All I was just coping because I was like, okay, I'm not getting booked out here because I just moved here. I don't know anybody. I try to message everybody and be like, hey, I just moved here. Here's a set, and I did it, and then nothing was coming from it. So and then my lady was gone, and I was like, oh my god, what do I like? Did I like fuck my life up?
Yeah, yeah,
now
I get it.
Like,
well, and dude, it's funny because like people will come visit. And my genuine response is like, I only have good things to say about this scene.
Yeah.
Is, a lot of stage time, whatever. But then, like I was talking to a guy this weekend and I was saying all the good things and he's probably going to move here. And he's a very funny comic, but like, it can be
so
tough.
Hard to get booked.
It can be tough, man.
Once
like even like, yeah, like, I mean, there are people here, you have to like find like some, like you have to wiggle your way in. Man, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, it was so like, it wasn't until, not that, I mean, this is just such inside baseball, but it was for like, there was like 6 months where I was like, it was basically until February, March of this year where I was finally like, oh, I'm getting booked. I don't have to worry about being booked at the end of the week.
Yeah.
It's like by the time the weekend comes around, I have a bunch of stuff lined up. But there was like 6 months where when you're not used to it, you're like, this is a fuck up. Like this is a massive fuck up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now I'm here and I'm established and I go, oh, this is the best move I could have made.
It's the best thing we possibly could have done. And Josh just got his first callback at the mothership, which is sick.
Boo, boo, boo. Yeah, well, hopefully that goes well. Hopefully that goes well. And then, we'll just fucking, just keep playing it by ear. Look at the new sketch, too. I know this is in the middle of
go
this.
watch the new sketch.
Yeah.
It's like, it's one of my favorites.
I know, it looks so
It genuinely
nasty.
is.
Well, I made a post about it on Reddit. I don't know where to promote these things. I'm trying to figure out like a subreddit because there's no subreddits that you can like self-promote things on. Because if you post it on, I've tried posting it on videos, like r/videos. And moderators are like, this is self-promotion and you can't post it here. And I'm like, well, then how the fuck does anybody post anything? What do you want me to post like a fucking thing?
I wonder if I could post it from my Reddit. I never use it except to watch porn. That's literally the only thing I do.
That just reminded me of something.
I could probably post it and be like, came across this awesome sketch. And it's not like mine's not Matt Ross comic.
Yeah.
Well,
I just remember something.
Okay.
On Reddit, you can see like I'm new to Reddit. I haven't been using it. I didn't realize you can see people's like comment history and post history and whatever. I found a dude. I saw a post. So now I've just been creeping. I creep when I see somebody post something.
Imagine if like you could do that on Instagram, like because every once in a while you catch your friend on Instagram. Actually, Soder has a good joke about this, where it's like some ass model, and then it'll just be like 100,000 people like this photo and Jeff. It's like you can see that like if you follow somebody and you're in the algorithm and you come across and they commented, you know, beautiful girl or something like that, you can see that, but you can't search what they've been liking really and doing all that. So
and Reddit, you can.
That's awesome.
And
dude.
so I saw a
so
thing
sick.
that was like, it was like portraits or like draw me or sketch or something. It was just on my home feed and it had like a ton of upvotes and it was a kid that was like disabled, which is totally fine. You're allowed to be disabled legally. And then I clicked on his profile because I was like, oh, I wonder what he's into. I don't know why I did that. I just like it. And then, dude, he's commenting on just the like a girl getting like triple team, like I mean, like going airtight and being like, and he'll be like, this bitch can take it like a champ. And I'm like, what, dude? He literally was one of the comments was like, I wish somebody would come and fuck my girlfriend like this. I want to watch her drink some other guy's cum. And I was like, this is crazy, dude. You have your face attached to this other post, and then you're commenting like some guy. There was one time where there was one of the comments where I went deep into it. I went too far. Then I started getting like too far into it, where he was talking about like how he thoroughly enjoys like getting penetrated despite his disability. And he was like, I'm a straight man. I love getting dominated by other men. I'm straight though. I watch my, like he was just describing the craziest thing. And here's what it is. It's not even the disability that makes it crazy. It's your face is attached.
Right.
The thing went viral because it was him being like, can you draw me? Even though I have a disability. And like, I think people were naturally drawn to the post because he's like wheelchair bound and he's clearly, you know, physically disabled. So I think people were like, oh, this is a very cool post that people are creating these great portraits of him. And then you go to his profile and he's just like, I can't wait to watch this dumb slut get cummed on. Right? Like, it's great.
You know what it is? It's sketch. It's literally sketch being like blowing up and then knowing that he's got this dirty shit out there of him like sucking cocks and shit. Yeah, it's literally that. Dude. It's like, I'm sure that guy didn't think like, oh, this is going to be.
Yeah, he wanted like 3 people to draw him or something.
Yeah.
And now it's like front page of Reddit, and then everybody
being able to see people's comments on shit is crazy.
It's wild. Well, somebody also somebody grilled the sketch today too. They went, this joke would have been funny if it was made 20 years ago. The millennial pit crew thing. That was the top comment on a Reddit post. And I went, brutal.
Yeah, dude. You know what I realized? So I've posted on TikTok the last 3 days, just because I'm like, I go back and forth. I gave up on it, but then I was like, I have all these videos I haven't posted. It takes me no time. Just do it. Yeah. And one of them has got like 200,000 views or something like that. And and it's the gay bar one. And I realized how much meaner people are on TikTok than Instagram. Like the first like 10 comments were people being like, don't come to our bars. I posted one the other day from Sam. I did Sam Minnie and Sam B's podcast. And it was just like a silly thing I said, was like starting golf is a lot like when you start doing heroin. You're like, I hope nobody knows I'm doing this. And I was just like talking about it. And then somebody said, this guy's teeth look like heroin.
What's that? What's that even mean?
I don't know, man. I brush my teeth. I know I got little gaps in my teeth, but like my teeth are clean.
Such a crazy.
I was like, what the fuck? And then like this was weird. Somebody was like, actually, you're wrong. I went to high school with him. Trust me, they don't look bad. And I don't know who it is because the tag is like their like tag is like Finn's mom, and then it's like no name. So, and it's a private profile, and I'm like, I don't know who this is.
Some stranger coming to your aid.
Yeah, some stranger I went to high school with who's like, he actually has perfectly fine teeth.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Yeah, people are mean online. I forget sometimes. I don't really get too much. I mean, obviously, if enough people comment, there's mean shit. TikTok is way meaner.
Yeah.
It's way meaner. You know what it is? It's just a bunch of young Gen Z fucking
Just
homos being fucking mean to me, dude.
That's what. Well, that was when I was going through it when we first started posting the podcast clips, and everybody would be like, "I'll be in a clip for 4 seconds."
Great clip. What the fuck is up with this redhead?
Yeah, I want to punch. There was a comment one time when it was me laughing for 2 seconds at something funny that you said or Jeff said or something. I'm in the clip for a second. Some guy went, I don't know why, but I want to punch this ginger in the fucking face. And it had like 10 upvotes. I was like, what the fuck? What are we talking about, dude? I'm hanging out.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
It's nuts. It's a nuts thing. And then let's see what else has been happening. And we haven't talked since I went the 4th of July. We missed the 4th of July.
Yeah.
We hadn't do the podcast. I was in Iowa. What did you end up doing?
I went to the LBJ museum with the bros.
Yeah.
It was so sick, dude. It was legitimately sick.
You went to LeBron James?
I went to the LeBron James library, yeah. So the library, it's not really a library. The library portion of it is all of the legislation that he passed. So you can go through all that. It's crazy. It's a huge wall of all these big binders full of stuff that he passed. Because he passed a lot of like civil rights stuff, which a lot of the museum was about that. So I felt really bad for being white for like 20 minutes in there. And we were with Ben Gordon, who was just kind of like, see, and I was like, okay, whatever. You are Jewish also, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, being there with Spencer, who actually knows quite a bit, it was very interesting. LBJ might be one of my favorite presidents now.
Because of this museum?
Because he's one of the few people that I know anything about, but he seemed pretty fucking sick, dude.
Yeah.
I guess he was from Texas and shit. But yeah, so we did that, and then went to Brandon Lejean's house, which is like, he has a pool, and I ate like 4 hot dogs in like 10 minutes.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, and then did a spot, which was actually pretty sick.
How was that?
It shockingly was fun. Like, it was good. Like, there was like 15 people there at East Austin, so it was nice. And then oh, me and Nat went to the convention thing that we did, which was super sick. But yeah. Oh, speaking of East Austin, August 2nd at 10 p.m. I'm headlining East Austin in East Austin. I'm so used to being like the creek in the cave in Austin, but it's like it's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah, it's East Austin at East Austin.
So yeah, but yeah, that's what I did. I had like a fairly American day.
Yeah.
I went to I went to a presidential museum. I ate too many hot dogs. I sat in a really hot pool and looked at tits and butts all day. That was cool. I over-nicked myself pretty hard. I was going nicotine hard all day because everybody's drinking around me.
Yeah, you got to get a buzz.
Like,
you're freaking out.
It does nothing. It just raises my heart rate.
Yeah,
you know?
That's all you need.
Yeah, it was pretty good. What did you? Because you were in fucking
nothing.
You didn't do anything?
I mean, we went and sat in a parking lot.
And watched fireworks?
I was a little sauced up. My mom was getting a little annoyed at me.
Really?
Yeah. My mom was kind of annoyed at me the whole trip.
She being just a buzzkill, dude? Were you just getting sauced the whole trip?
That was basically it. I was just like...
Is your dad still not drinking?
No, he doesn't drink at all. Okay. And so, yeah, he's been...
But he's still a little sauced up.
Yeah, he's still a little... Well, he was on...
He was on Percocet.
Yeah, he popped an extra one for the fireworks.
That's so sick.
Just me and my dad and my brother and my mom being... My mom was super chill. But then she was like, "But you need to keep it down because I have to work tomorrow." And like just being like that, because I would get home and I would just be like watching like fight videos on my. I was like casting fight videos to my parents' TV in the living room, watching that stuff. I was hammered. I'm trying to think what all I did.
That's so funny.
I immediately remembered why I don't like. I go back and forth between whether or not I enjoy going home and not. This last time, I fucking drove 16 hours there and back in one day, both times, which. A mistake by yourself. I don't think it's that bad. If like there's a person with you, it's not that bad, but like 16 hours on the road by yourself, I was just listening to like, dude, I went into such a deep Tim Dillon. Like I listened to, I'm not kidding, probably 30 episodes there and back. Like I was just, and that's all I did to stay awake. And I was doing that for the car rides. But then like I got there and I was like, nice, I'm here. Okay.
Everybody's like, "What's up, Josh?"
Not even. Like, I went out, dude. Like everybody's like, "Hi."
Yeah.
And I was just like, kind of a big deal that I'm home, right? I haven't been home in 2 years, and my mom was like, "Yeah, it's nice to have you here."
Damn, dude.
And they were like, "You want to grill out?" I was like, "Yeah, let's grill out." We grilled out every night.
Your mom was like,
well, there was like, my mom was totally chill. It was so anticlimactic that like normally it's like No, normally when I go home, it's like Thanksgiving or Christmas, so it's like it's leading up
It's
to
a
the
whole
big
thing.
day.
Right.
And at this time, it's like, yeah, my parents were working. And then, like, I'm just at the
Yeah.
house with my dog that I brought, and
I plan trips home every once in a while and forget that other people have like pretty normal jobs and shit. And then like my mom's retired and my dad, he works a little bit. He could be retired, but you know how dads are.
dads are.
He's like, I just started selling fucking sheeting.
Yeah, and you're like, what?
He's like, you got a sales job at 65? He's like, it's fun.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, you're a psycho.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
okay. But like, yeah, and then like my friends are working and then I'm just home and like I'll golf by myself.
Yeah.
Just in a different state.
Literally,
just like,
dude,
okay.
I've just worked out at the YMCA by myself. I spent like 4 hours at the Y each day.
Just like it's so funny to think about like this big vacation and then you just end up spending like most of it at the YMCA.
Yeah. I spent, dude, there was a day where I walked for 2.5 hours on the treadmill.
Whoa.
I didn't have anything else to do.
Awful, bro.
I didn't have anything else
Yeah,
to do.
there's like not really any like downtime filler for I mean, well, that's not true, but like I don't know, like sometimes like when I go home, I'm like, oh, this girl who I used to talk to, or I'll go on a date, or like whatever. But you just
it was like a Thursday.
Yeah,
it was like a Thursday.
People aren't really going out. The 3 people I know who still live here aren't really going out.
Yeah, well, Monday was like the worst day. Monday was when I was like, I'm gonna leave tomorrow because Monday was after the 4th of July. I think it was like when was the 4th? Was it on like a Thursday? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember, but it might have been Wednesday maybe. But anyways, it was the Monday before I left. I was like, what? Though, like I have like my roommate from college who I hang out with, shout out Brock. We went out one night but he's got like he had to work the next day, so it's like yeah, he's not gonna get hammered like with me.
Reasonable.
And then like all my other friends that I hit up were like now living in like Des Moines, and so I was like, oh, I have like 2 friends here that I would care to hang out with. And then other than that, like I hung out with my brother, but even him, it's like he's a welder who has to wake up at 5 a.m. and like worked on the weekends when I was there. So I was just like, oh, this was just kind of like a weird way for me to just not do stand up for a week and a half. It's basically what it turned into, which was nice. It was nice. But by the end, I was like, this is because there's nothing to do. Dude, I went on drives. This is all there is to do when you go home in the middle. It was just like, all right, you hung out, and then it was like, all right, let's go for a drive later tonight. And then we just drove around my city, and I went, well, that was the big thing for tonight, huh?
Wait, like your mom and dad and you and your brother?
We got in the truck and just drove to, they call it the green belt. It's just like you just go down around a small town and through like a little wooded area, and then you get back to your hometown. It's like, it's like sightseeing. There's like an eagle's nest. But it's very much like
an actual eagle's nest?
Yeah, like an actual eagle's nest.
Is it big as fuck?
Yeah, it's huge. But it's like after
like
you
how
do
big? I'm curious because
well, it's up in a tree, but you can still see
bald eagle.
Yeah,
that's sick.
Yeah,
I've never seen a bald eagle before. I don't think
they like mate in this tree.
Damn,
there's like cams that they hook up,
fucking and shit.
Yeah, there's eagles and you know what? Shout out to, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, dude. Shout out to
that's cool as hell. Yeah. That's better than the LBJ museum.
Yeah, well they had.
I'd rather watch.
You know what I did watch? I watched. I was at the eagle's nest on the 4th. Actually.
Yeah, dude, that's sick.
Yeah, that's pretty American. I didn't even put that together till right now.
Did you guys actually light off any fireworks? Damn, because that was the thing I didn't get to do. I didn't get to blow anything up.
A dude shot a bottle rocket, so we were in front of a gas. We were in front of a. You know Hy-Vee? You guys have Hy-Vees?
No.
It's like a. Why can't I think? It's a grocery store. I couldn't think of
a gas station.
I was gonna. It's like
a store.
Yeah, it's like it's just like a grocery store.
Oh, okay.
It's like an HEB, and
gotcha.
You know what a grocery store is, right?
Yeah, I know.
They sell
it's
food there,
like a Walmart.
Right, it's like where you can buy food.
Oh, so it's
like
more
a
like
grocery store.
like a Whole Foods then.
Yeah, so imagine like a Publix.
Oh, okay.
So
like a Target
store.
without all the clothes.
Right, so like imagine a Walmart but only the food.
Like a Sprouts.
Like a Sprouts, but like more like an HEB. Do you get do you know what a grocery store is?
Aldi's.
Yes.
An Aldi's.
Okay.
Glad we got there.
So now that we got there.
Running bets.
But anyways, there was a fireworks stand. Oh, fuck. This just reminded me too. I asked my dad, my mom was like, your dad's passed out when I got home. My dad was like asleep, and my mom's like, well, your dad had a long day. And I was like, oh, what'd he do? And then he went to Missouri and smuggled back edibles My dad goes to Missouri. He crosses state lines.
Your dad was smuggling all day. Your dad was being a mule today.
Yeah, your dad.
He's like the mule, like Clint
He's like
Eastwood
Clint
movie.
Eastwood, but
he's just in
like,
that old ass truck full of edibles.
He's just got like 4 brownies.
That's so funny.
It was
dude.
crazy. But yeah, she was like, he's not awake because he was passed out because he's had to drive 5 hours to re-up for the month. And
God, that's awesome.
But anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, we were at the Hy-Vee, which is, again, it's like a Walmart with nothing but the food.
Yeah.
And they had a fireworks stand in front of the thing where you can like, because now Iowa like just passed a bill saying that you can use fireworks for the first time. And
Whoa.
yeah, those like, they were like outlawed or illegal or whatever, you can get fined.
Interesting.
And they did that, and my we were in front of, that's where we were in front of, and some guy shot a bottle rocket into the stand.
Like
as a joke.
Like as a joke?
Yeah. And like the owner of the thing was like, I mean, rightfully so, but like freaking the fuck out. Like he was screaming.
Yeah, dude.
And I was laughing.
Dude.
And then he was like, it's not fucking fun. I got caught in the crosshairs. But
that is funny.
Well,
though.
like it was,
I mean, it's fucked up.
It was crazy because it like actually could have been very bad to shoot a bottle rocket into.
Dude, it would have ignite the whole thing, and then the Hy-Vee burns down.
Very bad. Yeah, like a grocery, like a Walmart
shit.
without the thing, and it's like and then like he was just like, that's like, he was like, who the fuck? Fireworks within 300 feet of my fucking stand or no go. I'm calling the cops. And then like he's also he like was missing a foot, which not an important detail, but was funny to see him kind of hobbling. And
well, because if you're mad enough, you need all your balance.
You do need your balance to be
like.
It was like a chihuahua.
Like if you're gonna get really angry, you have to have like your proper. You have to have your equilibrium in check.
And yeah,
because you do get moving a little bit. That's funny.
And I was off the bird dog whiskey. I found that.
Oh yeah,
bird dog. I was off the bird dog, and I just started laughing. And my brother was like, "Shut the fuck up!" My brother was trying to get, because I was like dying, and my brother was like, "Fucking shut the fuck up!" He's looking at us. He's looking at us. And he's something funny over there. He's like, something funny about it.
That's so good, dude. Dude, I almost saw a fight today at the park in at Barton Spring. I went in the morning to like swim, and when I'm walking out, I'm like hearing like screaming, and I look, and there's a guy screaming back at somebody behind him. And he's talking shit. I thought he said the N-word at one point. I don't think he did, but like that, yeah. But that's like how aggressively he was yelling that I thought he might have said the N-word.
Yeah, there's a certain level of whiteness.
Yeah.
White anger gets to the point.
And then all of a sudden I hear, "Oh yeah, what the fuck do you think I won't do?" And this guy is sprinting after him. So the guy starts running away with his dog. He has to pick his pug up, and he's running away. I took a video of it, and they were like chasing each other. It was so, well, one guy was being chased, and the other guy was the chasee. You can see it. See how he's just like running across this big fucking field chasing him? It was so fucking funny. And then he would stop, and then because the guy would get tired. And then
the guy holding the dog?
That guy was running on pure adrenaline. And then he would stop, and then the guy holding the dog would slow down, and then that guy would start running. And it happened for like a minute, and I just sat there and watched it until they were out of sight. And then I turn out, and it's probably like, I want to say at least a half a mile to get out towards like the main light. And the guy who was chasing him was still out there. Like, I didn't see the guy with the dog. He looked like he had chased him to the end, and then he was coming back. And I was just like, and I rolled down my window. I was like, "You get him?" And he was like, "Man, fuck that guy." And I was like, "Hell yeah, dude."
It's like the other guys when the guy's like, "Get back here, fuck my wife." He
Exactly. It was, he ran for so long. And then like the guy was like, "Help, somebody help me. He's attacking me." And he's like running with his pug. He's like fully clothed with a pug in his hand. The other guy has no shirt on. He looks crazy. It was so funny, dude. I wanted to see a fight so bad.
Oh, dude. So you know when you like walk by like a homeless guy who's like a black homeless guy who's just jacked?
Yeah.
I saw one working out. I saw a homeless guy working out. I didn't think they did.
Wow.
He was holding onto a parking meter doing dips.
Crazy.
And I was like, holy shit, is that like how these homeless guys get jacked like that?
It's kind of like prison, I imagine, where it's like you only have so much you can do. Like if you have to be outside and you have no money, like at some point you have to come up with an activity.
Just go do dips on the parking
Just
meter.
go to dips on the parking meter. It's like CrossFit. You're just kind of making the best out of your surroundings more than anything.
Yeah.
It's like parkour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense because I do think some of it's genetics. But why are you smiling? Black guys are ripped as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Every
true.
13-year-old black kid that I played basketball with had a 6-pack, and I was like, you guys aren't working out like that. You know what I mean? Like it was just like good for you. Oh, dude. So I wasn't there for this story, but I have to tell you. So Nat and some of the boys were having like a taco truck after a show. This is how, dude, this is crazy. Like just the world we live in is crazy. And there was some like drunk, like huge, like 6.5 foot tall, like Mexican guy out, like just trash, like kind of causing problems, was bothering them a little bit, whatever. Started getting into it with the guys who work the taco truck. And Nat, when he was telling the story, kept describing them as burrito boys because they make burritos. But I was like, you might want to chill out with that.
Let's tone it down.
I was like, we are in the car alone, but if you retell this story, don't call them burrito boys just for the sake of.
That's a very funny way to make a slur, though.
Yeah, it's a really funny way to be accidentally racist. Yeah. And the guys who make the burritos are classic Mexicans. Yeah. They're 5'2".
Yeah.
And this dude's huge, and they're bitching, and they're going back and forth, whatever, yada, yada. And it starts to get like kind of intense. And then Nat and Dean are like looking around the corner watching it. And the big guy walks to his car and comes out and he has a fucking gun. And Nat and Dean are like, gun. Like everybody like starts running. And then just like 15 seconds later, they hear like pop, pop. And everybody's just like running. And nobody got shot. But then like the police came and like everybody scattered, obviously. But like they had to like talk to the police and like it was like a whole thing. There was like a shell, like the cops were there and Nat watched this in real time. They were just looking around and there was just like a shell on the ground. And the guy
they made burritos though.
Huh?
Taco shell. Never mind. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get just.
There was like a shell on the ground and they were like, they do crispy tacos.
Yeah. Was it soft shell or hard? Or?
It's like it's like that's a hard shell. That's a felony.
What is this, corn?
Yeah. But it was crazy, dude. It was like that's just like nuts. And like that you didn't hear about that on the news.
No.
Like you know what I mean? That's how crazy the world is. Like some guy, and that's on 6th in East Austin. Like it's not like it's like it's not like it's like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like somebody just shot a fucking gun off. Crazy, dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've never seen a gun be used in an altercation like that.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, there was one story didn't get used, but my buddy Alex used to have a house that everybody would like drink at. This is when I was in the Marines. I was home for like 2 weeks, and a dude was talking shit to people. And my buddy Jameson, I've told you about Jameson before. He's like a dude that was like, he was in the army, psycho, but like, I mean, jacked, like fought. He got stabbed in the face. He's that friend that got stabbed in the face. Like, dude's a badass. And the guy was like talking shit to people, and then he had his backpack and was like, "Yeah, you guys don't want to see me reach into here. I got a and he basically was like, "You don't want to see me reach into here. I've got a gun." And the second that Jameson heard that, just like fucking knocked the dude out. They like beat the shit out of him and threw him out of the party. And he did have a gun, and it was loaded, and like it was just in one of those like. Do you remember like the gym basket? Like you remember like the
ones with
like
the strings?
Yeah. So he was just dude. He was just walking around with a loose gun that was loaded in his fucking in his little like Nike string backpack.
That's so funny.
It's funny to be walking and just being like every time you're taking a big step, your gun is like hitting you in the back, and it could go off because it's like loaded and not on safe.
Holy shit!
Like,
wait, so did they find the gun and take it from him?
Yeah. Well, they took his backpack, and in the backpack there was a gun. Yeah.
That's nuts, dude. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, but then it's also like, well, what do you do with that gun?
Yeah.
I don't know what they did with the gun.
Dude, I don't think I could have a gun. Every time I get into road rage, I think about how sick it would be to pull up next to somebody and just be like
I've told you about my friend who's a MP in the army, right?
He's done that.
My friend who's an MP in the army, which is like military police, he has the worst road rage I've ever seen. We were in Minneapolis and he pulled it out like 7 times. I'm like, hey man, you can go to prison.
Yeah.
Like this is crazy. Like he was just like, somebody would cut him off and he'd be like, really? I'd be like, no.
But that's like what I feel. I think I wouldn't actually do it. But like even the other day, like I was trying to like get on the highway, you turn left and then you're on the on ramp. And I didn't realize that I had to be in a lane. So I saw a gap and I got in it. And the guy behind me was like fucking, and then he flipped me off. And I just started laughing. That's where I've been lately. I think I've been in a more peaceful place. I haven't been arguing with you as much about stuff. And like road rage is not making me angry. It just like makes me laugh because I'll fuck with them back. But like,
Yeah.
so he did that, and then you turn into a lane, and then there's another lane to get on the highway, and he starts getting over. So of course I cut him off. Like,
Yeah.
Like just no blinker, just cut him off. And then he's freaking out again. And then we get onto the highway. He gets all the way around here, comes back, and then gets in front of me, brake checks me like an absolute pussy, like hardly brake checks me at all. And I was literally laughing at the guy. I was like, it's so funny. It's the funniest too, because he was in a Jeep that had, I'm not kidding you, a dozen rubber ducks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, brother,
wait till you hear my bit.
You cannot be hard with all those rubber ducks, dude. Yeah.
He's like,
pull up next to me. I'm going to airdrop you a clip.
Yeah. He's driving. He's got one hand on the ducks trying to make sure they don't fall. Like, he's like,
well, yeah. And well, it's funny because then I was behind him for a while, and because I was going like 65, and I was like, I don't need to get around him. I also don't want to pull up next to him. But I saw him like reach down when he was in front of me, and I was like, yeah, I'm not fucking with this. I've seen that happen multiple times, and I don't think it was a gun. It probably wasn't. I legit had the thought, oh fuck, what is he grabbing? It might be a gun. And then I thought, I bet some of those ducks fell off when he brake checked me. That's funny to get road rage and swerve and brake check somebody and then be like, oh, fuck, the purple one.
God damn it.
God damn it. Yeah, it's so
God, my mom gave me this one.
Yeah, dude, it's so fucking lame. It's so funny.
It is funny to be reholstering and being like, oh no, fucking,
No,
oh no,
my
Mr.
duck.
Wubbles.
But yeah, I mean,
Mr. Quacky. He's got a name for it.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I just can't help but think how quickly you win the road rage incident when somebody pulls up next to you and they're yelling at you and you go, like it's over.
Checkmate.
Yeah, it's
Until they
over
go,
at that point. Yeah, until
they go 2 guns.
Yeah,
and then you got to go.
Yeah, and then I pull bazooka.
And then everybody knows bazooka, but then they go, and then drone beats bazooka.
Fuck, dude, I didn't even think about drone.
And
Holy
then
shit.
then I mean, what does nuke look like in road rage?
Mr. President.
Yeah, Mr. Yeah.
It's a
You go
I-35 heading south on Slaughter.
Yeah, you go President Truman.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a bigger bomb.
We're gonna need a bigger bomb. Yeah, I think about that all the time, so I don't think I should keep a gun in my car.
Yeah, well,
also like you can certainly get arrested like easily for that.
Yeah.
If somebody goes, hey, there was a road rage incident and somebody pulled a gun on me, their license plate is this, and then you get pulled over and you have a gun on you.
Yeah.
Even if it's legal, it's going to be a problem. I mean, they can't prove that it happened either way, but it's also like not a good way to have, like, not a good thing to have during your day.
I'm sure after the second time your car gets called in for that, they go,
yeah, because let me tell you,
you're fucking doing this.
It wouldn't be once. They'd be like, we've had this call a couple times. All the cases have been dropped. We're starting to think you're doing it.
Yeah. By the way, we do think you're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, have I told you when I drove up from Florida, I brought my that little 38 and
just nervous the whole time.
Not even nervous. I felt powerful the whole time. It was a thing where I went, shouldn't drive around with this anymore.
No.
Because I had false confidence. I was just like, who gives a shit?
What could anybody do to me?
What
I'll
are you gonna
shoot them with my gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend who used to drive around with a shotgun in his truck mounted in the back.
Yeah.
He would take it to school.
That's country shit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents used to talk about that, where they'd be like, back in my day,
yeah,
you know, we used to have
that's why they call
with
it shotgun.
Confederate flags and shotguns in their cars. Yeah. And like, I was just like, oh, that's crazy.
As long as they don't say the good old days.
No, they just say
you go the back
then.
in my day.
No, my parents are very not.
Yeah,
Confederate
not the good
soldiers.
My parents did not fight for the Confederacy in the 1800s.
I promise my parents did not fight for the Confederacy in the 1800s.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, prove it, but
yeah, but honestly, prove it, but also like they didn't, but also like prove it.
But also, my granddad did used to live on a tobacco farm, so who knows? It's tough. It's a tough look.
We're gonna cut this whole thing out.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah,
55 seconds.
It's not.
It's not minutes.
It's not back. Yeah, it's not the
when that was.
Yeah, my parents didn't fight for the Confederacy.
No,
so.
Well, even if they did, honestly, whose parents didn't? I tell you what, that is. Yeah, I'm trying to remember anything that did. I realized that my dad out at town has like Is your dad hard of hearing? Does he have dad hearing?
Yes. Well, my dad had a like firecracker blow up in his ear when he was young. So
Yeah.
he's like mostly deaf in his left ear, which is a really big problem.
Well, my dad's just like,
it's probably why my parents are separated. No, I'm kidding.
my dad is just dad deaf in his left ear. Where it's like, I'm not sure there's any catalyst, but it's just
there's
like,
no diagnosable hearing loss.
It is so funny. My dad gets so angry when he sees fat women in Mason City, Iowa. He goes, dude, we were
You
in
mean the
Walmart.
home of fat women?
What's up?
Just the middle of the Midwest?
Yeah.
Just
and he
ranch women?
Dude, and he goes, he literally were in Walmart. He's deaf, so he doesn't have his hearing aids in.
Yeah.
And he literally goes, this whole fucking city's full of fucking pigs. Right behind like 3 big ladies. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? And they like looked at us, and my dad went, like he didn't just say the craziest shit.
That's
he
so
gets
nuts.
so mad
Why?
at fat
What's his
women.
thing? Well, it's trickled down because you also
I know.
don't
I
love fat
absorbed
people.
it.
You really did. What's his deal? Because I've seen pictures of him. He doesn't look fat, but he doesn't look like he's
no.
like,
He's a hip. He's not.
He
he's
doesn't
not
look fit.
No, he had a heart.
he looks
attack.
like an overweight dad.
Yeah, he had a dad bod.
Yeah.
Like he literally was like the epitome of that. Like I don't know what it is. I think that he just is a pervert. It's basically what it is. He's like, if I can't objectify you, you're a pig.
If you're too gross for me to objectify, it makes me furious.
Yeah.
It's basically like what it is.
Because there's only 2 options. There's either you're really hot to him or you're fat.
Yeah.
He used to do
that. That is kind of where dads get to a certain degree, where it's like,
your mom's always had the nicest tits.
yeah, it's like
what?
Every woman who's not disgusting is hot.
Yeah. Yeah, dad, that's the dad barometer.
Yeah,
the dad
really
barometer is she under 150 pounds? Hot.
Is she over 17?
Is she younger than 18?
Hot. No.
My dad used to say this to me all the time. He'd always go, no matter, he still does this. Whenever we see anybody walking, he goes, if it's a lady, he goes, there's one for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I've been in a committed relationship
well,
for
it's
like
also
4
like,
years. You've met her.
She's 13.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And he'll be like, wow.
Yeah.
He goes, what? It's a joke. And I'm like, well, don't make that
well,
joke.
Stop, dude. You're
like
loud because you're deaf, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody can hear you.
You're in Walmart going, women are pigs. And then there's a 16-year-old that walks by and he goes, there's one for you. And it's like, both, I don't know. Well, I do know which one is worse. But also, let's not. You don't want to be the one that's like,
they're both bad, but
16's
worse. I'd rather my dad call a fat woman than
a 16
call a 16-year-old hot. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Is that a thing that dads do just become?
They just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's all it is. They've lived long enough where they don't care. They know they're not going to get arrested or canceled or wwhatever.
Yeah, you
for
can't
being
take away
like,
my dad's.
She's hot. And then somebody's like, she's 17. And he's like, I didn't fucking do anything.
I didn't fucking do anything. So.
That's the best defense ever.
Well, I didn't fucking do anything. Your Honor.
Your Honor. I didn't even fucking
do anything, Your Honor. Now
that's the greatest
now if you
defense.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you look, my client didn't even fucking do anything. My client really didn't even do anything.
Just like Johnny Cochran defending OJ. Just like, if the glove does not fit, he didn't fucking do anything.
Listen, Your Honor, if you close your eyes and listen to that 16-year-old walk by, it is important to remember, my client did not even fucking do anything. My client barely fucking did anything. He barely killed him. That's funny to me. It would be funny to be like, like, I've thought about, oh God, I forgot. I used to have a joke about this when I first started. Like, the fact that there's degrees to murder is funny. It's like, Your Honor, he fucking barely killed him. He fucking like,
it's not like this is like first degree.
Yeah. It's not, well,
he barely killed him.
It used to bomb, but I was like,
that's a funny premise.
To be like, oh yeah, is it my client's fault that the victim is a pussy?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get shot in the leg and die?
Yeah. It's like you didn't even mean to.
Well, did you know from the waist up, it's attempted murder. Waist down, it's not.
Really?
If you shoot somebody, yeah.
I did not know.
And then if you kick somebody in the head, it's attempted murder.
Whoa. So if I high kick somebody in the fucking head,
it's also a feat of athleticism if you do it.
which cancels out.
Which cancels out. They go, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
He barely.
He barely even
Your
kicked
Honor,
him in
he
the
kicked
head.
him in the fucking head, which is kind of cool.
Kind of sick.
It'd be cool if there was a parameter of the cooler you kill somebody, the less time you get in prison. So it's like
we'd sentence you to 55 years. It originally was going to be 90, but the spinning back kick you did, the spinning back kick that you did with such accuracy was actually kind of crazy. And the fact that you kicked him directly into that stool where he broke his neck, flawless. 55 years.
10 out of 10. You go, yeah. You go. They're like, they actually do have CCTV footage of this, and it's you doing a backflip, jumping off of a trampoline. Like, they're like, God, we gotta go. That's 35 years.
The jury's like, whoa.
Yeah. They hold up scorecards. They go, yeah.
Like,
if they can't come to a unanimous decision,
15 years.
Yeah, they hold up years instead of scores.
Yeah,
Yeah, they go. Some guy still's like life. You're
pretty
like, what
cool.
the? Yeah, life is the Simon Cowell. Of
yeah, it's Simon Cowell. Just like, I think it was pretty atrocious. Life
in prison. I'm British and I judge Americans singing. You fucking piece of shit. I'm fucking coming for you, Simon. I'm not coming for.
Yeah,
I'm coming at.
I'm nutting for you, Simon.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the Triple F podcast.
Triple F podcast.
Go over to the Patreon, patreon.com/Triple F podcast. There's an extra episode there each week, allegedly. Sometimes there's not. I shouldn't have included that last part, but hey, you're here. You're family.
Olive Garden. We're Olive Garden. We're an Olive Garden podcast.
Yes, sir. Thanks for letting us do this, man. Yeah, no problem. And honestly, I wish you'd step back from that ledge, my friend.